Shrink in the house, at it again here, back-to-back jacks, just like the MLB playoffs. There's been a few of those back-to-backers, some grand slams, another sport I played for a lot of years, hardball. Intense game, really intense game, lots of tension. The butterflies, they continue to come back many times during the game. There's not many sports that do that, where you have time to actually feel those again. Right? Like every time you're in that batter's box, you get those butterflies come back. So that's why I love baseball. But anyway, thanks for the comments, guys. I love people that when you participate, there's a lot of knowledge coming in and that can help the viewers. Different opinions from people, and that's what Shrink wants here. So but I've been always thinking about, I always like to go back full circle to one of the earlier forms of playback. Not the earliest, but we all know what that is. It came in around 1985, and I remember the very first CD I bought. And you know which one that was? It was the first self-titled Boston album. Still one of my favorite of all time. I remember I had a Ghetto Blaster at the time in 1985, and when CD came out, Sony was coming out with these portable Walkmans. So all I did, and it had an adapter where you just plug the RCAs into the back of the Ghetto Blaster, and I was off and running. And ever since then, I've always had a love for CD. I don't have a huge collection, in my old party days and addiction, and I lost several hundred CDs, right, over the years. But I managed to hold on to a couple hundred, right? And, I've been on a CD playback binge here for the last week. And it never ceases to amaze me just how good it sounds, okay? Because I've had high-level streaming with superior DACs, and it sounded awesome, right? Like I always talk about the Inuit Zen MK3 and the effect that it had on me when it came into the room with that effortless weight and just totally analog presentation. But, everyone wants to compare, well, what's better? Not everyone, but streaming versus CD. There is no winner, guys. They all offer benefits in their own way, right? And obviously streaming is the world of music at your fingertips, but the double-edged sword there is that your brain just can't seem to settle and just play an album. It's already thinking of the next track, and it's almost impossible not to because it's so simple. That's why I say the number one format for me for fully engaging with music is vinyl, because I don't want to get up and change tracks, right? Even CD, I tend to let the CD play through. It's just the streaming where, I'm sure a lot of you are guilty of it, know exactly what I'm talking about. But man, like I say, I haven't had a lot of high-end CD players in my day. I've always, as my experience have grown, I've become very weary, right, of the reliability of not the player so much, the actual transport, the unit that, that's doing the work in there, that's spinning the disc. And there's not too many companies out there building their own transports today. And I know esoteric, if you've had some of the 3D pictures of those transports, when you go up the line, they're serious. I think it's TIAC that builds them. But a lot of the CD players that are coming out, including Heagle and all that, I had the Mohican. It was just a cheap Sanyo transport, right? And I just thought, okay, $6,000. It also had a few issues, so I had to get rid of that thing. So, what I've been playing around with, and I'll get to the favorite CD player that I've ever owned and that I actually regret letting go, because it's a more of an obscure brand. A lot of you have heard of it. Sorry for jumping away there, but I'm going to go back to that CD player that I'm talking about. And for all you that watch, I know that many of you are very experienced because, my stats and analytics show that. They show the age group of who's mostly watching me. So the company, guys, is Electric Company, okay? And the model is the EMC 1 Up model, okay? Now, when I got that thing on the used market, for one thing, it was just like, I thought I was just going to pick this thing up and just, it's just some lightweight little cheaps. Oh, no, no, no. This thing, it's like a solid integrated amplifier. I mean, it must have weighed, I don't know, 30 pounds. And the whole middle of the unit is this heavy duty, I believe it was a Phillips transport, on this beautiful separate chassis in the middle of the chassis, right? And it's a top loader. You just push the door open. It felt so amazing. It was like it was on ball bearings. It was so smooth yet so heavy, like the tactile feel of the quality of the unit. This one had the 24 192 DAC built inside. And guys, from the first notes of playing that machine, it was just mind-boggling how good it is. And there's a reason why it still commands a pretty penny on the used market. And this thing's, it must be coming up to near 20 years old. But again, it just goes to show the design of the Phillips transport set, especially the CDM1. They're designed to never break, ever, right? I believe it's the chassis of the transport itself is made out of magnesium. I want you guys to come in and correct me. It's some kind of heavy duty metal, right? And it was designed to never break. And man, I just got like a trickle down version of it in my vintage Magnavox here, which is just a rebadged Philips CD player. I think it's a CDM7 maybe is the, but man, getting back to the electric company, I swear to this day it's one of the greatest CD players ever made. And I got a good deal on that piece, and I regret it now. I really do, because from this day out, ever since I had these little issues with the Heagle, I've never trusted buying a new CD player because I'm afraid. There's moving parts going on, and I just don't trust it, right? And then there's Project's got a serious ass transport out, size of a shoebox. I believe it was the TIAC manufacturers that helped design and build that unit. It's got carbon fiber in it. That thing's like $4,000, and it's just a little chassis, kind of flip up top loader. But guys, I've been on a CD playback binge, and to be honest, I know there's not supposed to be any winner, but I know for myself that CD playback it's above streaming. If you're going to put a head-to-head unit against a streamer and then a top-of-the-line CD player, it's my opinion that the CD playback is more organic and more real. And why that is, I can't tell you. It's just the experience that I've had. Like this CD player here, guys, I paid $100 for it. It's never as much as skipped, not even once. And the sound, the bass control is absolutely superb. It's extremely smooth, yet there's lots of detail in there. It's got the Philips CD Crown DAC in there, the 1541 Crown DAC. They made a better chip. Philips did. I think it was the double crown. Again, that's why I like the comments. But I'm just going to say it, guys. If you got a CD collection, don't get rid of it. It's just a hell of a way to enjoy your music. CD playback is just wonderful. I'm a huge fan of streaming. Don't get me wrong. I have it at reference level here with the Bel Canto. But I got the CD player hooked up to it. It's a digital integrated amplifier, yet its input sounds absolutely phenomenal with the Magnavox. Phenomenal. So yeah, hail the CD, guys. And again, thank you so much for any tips or donations. That's what the super thanks is there for. It's to give back to Audio Shrink and the channel, right? It motivates me to continue this content, and it's not easy, as I always say, because I'm not a reviewer. But I will have some surprises coming down the road for y'all. Anyway, like and subscribe. Shrink loves ya.